You're listening to the Beans and Dice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Hey, folks. Welcome to the Beans and Dice podcast. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Mitch.
And we are a podcast about
How we game.
That's right. Wow. I didn't...
Extra face at the table today.
Yes. It's got me all flustered and stuttered because today we have a special guest. Guest host. He's been a guest host before. He's been on the show with us. Mitchell from New Iberia, Louisiana, is in town in Florida visiting for summer vacation, and he has stopped by Studio B for Bean for board games, pizza, and just revelry. Just fun.
Hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Having a good time.
So thank you for coming in.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Introduce yourself to the folks at home. Give me something about a little bit about you, right? And then just a little bit about how you started gaming.
Oh yeah, my name is Mitchell. I'm a teacher in South Louisiana. Got a couple of kiddos. They're here with me in Tampa. How I started gaming? Ever since I was young, I started with the classics. The ones that are crappy now, Monopoly and Clue and all that.
Oh, okay.
And then I think my gateway into what I guess we can call real games, kind of like Catan. A nice in between there. And I don't know. It's hard to put a timeline on kind of whenever I started, but I'm really big into Euro games, things like that.
Yeah, Catan's a popular starter. They got a lot of people into the modern hobby. I call it hobby gaming. So that's a big one. I think that worked for a lot of people. I know we played Catan pretty early when you were getting me into the
Yeah, I used
hobby.
to do tournaments over at Anthem Games off of Ehrlich. We would do tournaments of Catan, which it's good. You mentioned Catan, that's a good one. Euro games, not so good.
No, Q pushers. That's what it's all about. Don't let them talk about that. Yeah, we just
Don't you be bringing that to my table
with the Euro.
The game that I just won, by the way, on my first
Oh,
play.
Yeah.
Look at that. He fits right in.
Yeah, he wants to go right into it. So yeah,
And he'll never play it again.
Lost
He's
rules.
gonna pull a Dan.
Arnak,
Champion,
100%,
undefeated.
100%. Yeah.
I'm going to open up the phone lines now. We're going to put the phone number on the board. 813-618-7099 is the phone number, and I will open up this phone line here if I can figure out technology.
Yep, and phone line, we're still with one line, so remember that if somebody's on the line and you want to call in, just give it a minute, let them clear that call, get done with it, and then hit us up, and we'll take calls one at a time, and certainly we're here, as always, to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So if we don't get calls, we'll just kind of chit-chat about what we've been up to in the last week or so. We'll talk about what we've been playing the last 24 hours here with Mitchell in town, and but if you call, talk to us about whatever. No news. Talk to us about what you've been playing, games that you have acquired, games that you're looking forward to playing. We want to just chat about games.
And Mitchell, there's you're from Louisiana.
Indeed.
And there's a comment in the chat, and I guess I don't speak that language.
Please try to pronounce that.
No, English is not even my first language.
Go, go, go.
Let alone.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, that's BJ from Boardgame Gumbo. Thanks for
sweet.
being there, BJ. And then I think that's Connor down there too saying go Cajuns. You guys need to call in and talk to us.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
We'd love to hear from you if you can call in.
Yeah, 813-618-7099 is the phone number. We're really hoping to hear from folks and what they're playing, not just talk about what we've been up to. How do you pronounce that? G-A-A.
Go.
Rob said
Go, 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 go.
Oh, is that it?
Yep.
Is it really? That's it.
Yep. E-A-U-X is O.
Oh, in French. Yeah, it's a French thing.
Oh, yeah, you said you took some
Yeah,
French,
I
right?
took 3 years of French in high school.
He knows no language, but I say Spanish. That's it.
He doesn't even know Spanish very well, but
Or English. We got a phone call coming in. Let's take a peek here. Beans and Dice podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
My name is Connor Smith. I'm calling from New Iberia, Louisiana.
hey, Connor.
Hey, this is a coincidence.
Do we know a Connor?
Oh, of course I know Connor, yeah.
How you doing, Connor? Thanks for calling into the show. We have no topics. We're looking to hear from you about what you got going on or any questions for us. Talk to us.
All right, sick. So one thing I was kind of curious about, and I kind of want to hear y'all thoughts on it, is the whole idea of the Terraforming Mars Legacy game that's supposed to be coming out, or what's supposed to come out last year, and then I guess got delayed for some reason. I wonder what are y'all thoughts? Are y'all excited for it, et cetera?
That'll get played.
Wait. Terraforming Mars.
That'll get played.
Legacy game?
Yeah.
Y'all got to catch me up on that. I haven't seen that on
I haven't
Univision.
heard much about it. I heard something that there was something like that going on, but if one of you guys know more about it,
The only thing I know and that I've seen is that it's supposed to happen, but I don't know any details.
yeah,
on it.
exactly. That's all.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I've heard is that there was something floating around out there, but I haven't heard any details about it at all.
Connor, I'll definitely play it.
Oh, absolutely. I was kind of curious to what maybe y'all think it would be or what it could be.
Ah, a little speculation.
Go around the table, Robert. Start us off.
Oh gosh, well, I don't know. I was gonna start by saying that that's probably it's definitely in my top 10 of all time. I'm a big Terraforming Mars fan. I have not played the Ares Expedition, which is what I thought you were going to go into, the one that's coming out now, the streamlined, pared down, quicker version of it. I have not played that yet. Although from what I've heard, a lot of people say that's going to convert a lot of people from classic Terraforming Mars to this quicker, speedier version. I disagree. Again, I haven't played it, so I'm completely, my opinion's uneducated at this point, but I hear it takes out the drafting, which I think is huge in Terraforming Mars. I mean, that's huge for me, is the whole drafting part.
No, but see, okay, so I hear you. You're talking about not the new Ares expeditions.
Yeah.
Right, yep.
Connor's saying...
Oh, no, that's right. I'm getting to that. I was transitioning.
Got it.
But I'm just saying, I thought that's where he was going. So just as a little bit of reference, again, I'll cut that part of it short. But yeah, I'm thinking that I will still be a classic Terraforming Mars guy. But gosh, about a legacy. Well, legacy, I guess that implies you're going to be destroying things. You're probably going to be changing the map. You're going to be making some permanent changes to the map, which sounds pretty cool. I would imagine stickering some things, some envelopes to open. I mean, that's always exciting. Carlos and I had played through Pandemic season 1 and 2 for the almost all of 2 and Pandemic Legacy, and those were pretty exciting. So I don't know.
All right, so I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
I'm not as excited.
No, you don't like your Legacy.
I struggle, and we talked about this in one of the bites that we did.
Yeah.
Campaign games, like getting stuck into a campaign game, trying to.
It's not stuck.
I say stuck.
You're saying to try to get that same group back
because people's feelings get hurt, right? So like if so and so can't show up, so we replace it with somebody else to keep it going.
It's their own fault.
But that has not.
Amen, brother.
But that has not happened. So you haven't given a shot yet.
Well, we failed many times. So the idea of a legacy game that requires you to have the same group of people to play it over and over again, it kind of turns me off. What about you, William?
You guys already do it pandemic, so I wouldn't see why it's an issue.
Yeah.
So you can't use that excuse. Another thing is, Terraform Mars is a game about controlling the map, doing things on the board. So I'm assuming if it's Legacy, it's all going to be about changing that board.
Kind of like the Legacy Risk, which allows you to change the board.
I'm assuming they're going to have cards that you will have in the beginning of the game, and then they're just gone. But I'm going to say probably about 50% of the game is going to be changing the way the actual. Maybe you might actually terraform that actual planet, and that's what's left.
Scratch and sniff stickers.
Yeah. Wow. It's like, oh,
Mitchell, what's your thoughts on it?
I think a legacy game is a perfect thing for a game like Mars, where you're supposed to be changing the terrain already. And I agree that the board will definitely change. I'm sure some of those corporations and maybe even prelude cards will get stickered up, so they're better in future games. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
And I'm wondering if each of the ages, I don't know what they call them, generations or whatever in the game, which is basically your turn generations. Maybe
a game.
Maybe will be a game. It'll kind of draw everything out. That way you're not because the thing I struggle with in my mind is that board is only a limited size. So maybe they triple the number of hexes. I don't know. But if you're going to keep it roughly the same number of hexes, I would think maybe you just draw out each of those generations, and that when you sticker something on the board, when you claim an ocean or a territory or a city or build a city, that maybe you're only going to do that once per generation. In the classic game, sometimes you may throw down 2, 3, 4 cities in a generation, but maybe it stretches it out, kind of gets you a little deeper, drills a little deeper into each of those generations.
I hope it does.
What do you think, Connor? So you'll wrap us up. What are your thoughts on it?
So I was kind of hoping. I mean, this is more of a hope as opposed to like I think this will happen. I've kind of hoped that there's a way you can kind of maybe start out with like a bare basic. So like there's in like the tutorial, I guess you could say, of the game, you start with a corporation that gives you all 10 cards, you have to buy them, and you start with like I think it's $40. I'm wondering if they're going to make you start like that, and you kind of slowly build on your corporation's ability.
Yeah.
Like maybe add maybe small minute abilities over time.
That's a good thought.
So
to make a whole new corporation.
Instead of picking a corporation, you have to build your corporation the way that you want it to be from that beginner corporation. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
But what if I get just born into a rich family? They just like,
come on, you're just taking all the fun out of it. But
I want a silver spoon in my mouth.
This isn't Red Rising.
yeah, that's an interesting thought, though, focusing more on the corporation than on the terraforming and on the board section of it. So, but that's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Connor, that's a great topic and a question. Any other topics or questions for us before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. Thanks for having me on.
Connor, we appreciate your call.
Yeah, don't be a stranger. Thanks for calling.
Beans and Dice
man.
Podcast. We thank you for calling.
Thanks, appreciate it.
That was Connor from Louisiana.
Yeah, we could have let Mitch say hi, I guess, because he didn't really get a chance to chit chat with his buddy that called
I'll
in.
talk
but
to him
that's
this
all right.
weekend, I'm sure.
Stop me. I was raised in a barn. I need to learn some manners. You can stop me.
That's all right. That's all right.
Now, Wayne had a comment on the same topic. Now, while we wait for another call to come in, 813-618-7099. Wayne says, but will you desire to kickstart something that's been affected for what has happened with the Ares expedition?
Okay, that's where I thought he was going to go with that, because that is the big buzz here the last few days. And anyone who hasn't heard, Ares Expedition, again, I was kind of explaining that a little bit, it's kind of the pared down, quicker, shorter version, but supposedly a lot of the same flavor, a lot of the same feel as Terraforming Mars. But there was a big hubbub that the game showed up during the Amazon days. It hit Target as one of their new exclusive games, and the people who had kickstarted it have not gotten it yet. And actually, those copies, from what I understand now, are not even going to start delivering until September. So we're talking months before the Kickstarter folks get it. And it's now available, and it is slightly different form. I know we've heard a little bit about what it is.
Storage containers?
Yeah, there's some storage containers that are going to come in the Kickstarter version, and there's like 8 or 10 promo cards, I think, or special cards that are only available in the Kickstarter version. So the Kickstarter people are still going to be getting something a little bit different than what the retail people are. But the other big controversy of it is that, from what I understand, I'm not a big Kickstarter guy, and neither is Carlos, and if y'all have any more knowledge on it, but classically, I guess, in the past, when companies have done this, they have notified the people who are the Kickstarters that they are either are thinking about doing it and ask them for their opinion if it's okay, or they tell them, we are going to do this, and just be ready for it. In this case, from what I understand, the Kickstarter folks had no notice. All of a sudden, they just started seeing it at Target, and it was like, hold on, I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't got an email. I haven't got a Kickstarter update. And they were just completely blindsided by the fact that people could walk in and buy it 2-3 months ahead of when they could get it. So,
But William, as a Kickstarter of Stronghold Games, which you have, does this decision that they made, impact your decisions? Wayne's asking, impact your decision to kickstart them in the future?
No, I did the Kickstarter for the big box, the Terraform big box, which was an amazing piece of amazing components in there. So I'm going to say no right now. But even people who can get it at Target, if you look at it, right when Terraform Mars came out, how fast was it before Broken Token had inserts? How fast was it before you were able to buy promo cards?
yeah.
Right after it. So that's probably where people are getting upset. Is I kickstarted this game because I wanted the cards, I wanted the trays. Now you can get the game in Target. By the time these people get their copy, someone's going to develop an insert, and we'll have the promo cards on sale separately. That's probably why they're angry.
I'm assuming you didn't back this?
I did not back it because actually I didn't know about it. I have, and plus I have way too many other games or Kickstarter. I can't kickstart everything. So I just
You can't?
you can. But, I mean, I don't got a lot of money either. So
Wayne says a couple of cards and some game trays for $20 more than retail. I'm a little bit with Wayne on that one.
Yeah. Well, they said, and you'd heard about the game trays and the game bins or whatever it's going to come with. Again, the quote I heard was upgraded components, so I'm not sure if there's other components that will be upgraded.
No, everything else is the same. They put. What's great is we got a phone call coming in. Beans and Dice Podcast. State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Wayne from Tampa.
Oh, hey, Wayne.
he said, "Forget about it."
You heated it up, brother.
Yeah.
No, I just really call it. I mean, like I didn't back the game, but I follow it, right? And what I've seen some of my friends that back the game is they were told originally that it was going to be delivered in September, and then they were notified that it would come in early. And then they go back. Stronghold says, "Well, no, now it's in Target, and we're going back to the original. You're not getting the game till September." And I think that's where a lot of people are pissed. But it's like, well, you told us we were going to get it early, and now you're going back to the original release date because you put 100,000 copies in Target at $20 cheaper than we're paying for 18 cards that are going to be on BGG in 6 months, and a game, an insert
Exactly.
that's just game trays.
That's where people are going to be
That I
upset.
think is what's.
is the fact.
Yeah, I
that
think
that's where most people are going to get upset. Is that point?
Now here's an answer I've received, and tell me if it's satisfactory for you, Wayne. The distribution system for a manufacturer and distributor or a retailer and distributor like Target, it's much more efficient than for a retailer like Stronghold. So when the Chinese factories finished their production, the boxes that were meant to go to Target were gone on the boat, on its way.
Yep.
Whereas Stronghold, it's a slower system to get to us. Does that help mend some of those hurt feelings?
Absolutely, somewhat. And I think especially with the shipping crisis in this world, where we've seen Kickstarters say that a year ago they could ship it for $30,000, and now it's costing them $200,000 to ship it. Stronghold has to wait to get their product. Target can absorb that loss because they just want the product on the shelves. I don't think that's is really what is sort of making people angry. I think it's the lack of communication and the lack of just being upfront about it. Like, they could have easily have said this stuff we knew you don't just sign a deal with Target and 2 days later it's on the shelf.
Right.
Yeah, this has been in progress for 6 months probably or more.
Right.
You could have been more forthcoming with your Kickstarter backers that have been loyal to you. I think that's where people are mad. I don't, if they just said, "Hey, we got this deal," and explained it better up front, no one's going to care. The fact that it's dropped and then people are dealing with it, I think that's what's really, rubbing people wrong. Because I've done a bunch of Kickstarters where they've either released it early or they said, "Hey, we're going to sell a limited number of these games at Gen Con because it helps us build buzz
Marvel
for the game."
United.
And
Marvel United. They were up front with the Walmart.
Even Brass. I'm pretty sure Brass, Lancaster, and Birmingham, they had those. They had a limited number that they said, "Hey, we want to sell these at Gen Con. We know you haven't all gotten your games yet, but are you okay with it?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, sure. You got to do what you got to do." And it helps you make money. It helps to make the game popular. And so that's happened numerous times. I mean, I've done 60 or 70 Kickstarters. That's probably happened 5 or 6 times. So I don't think anyone has a problem with that. I think it's the communication that's been that's really rubbing people wrong with Stronghold right now.
This picture, I'm just flipping through BGG, but there's a picture of Ares Expedition in a Target shopping cart going down the aisle.
Wow.
So just
a lot of hurt feelings.
Oh man, that could become a meme in the board gaming.
Let me jump in. I don't want to steal anything.
I think I'm going to go to Target after this.
From the conversation here, but we talk about hurt feelings, and this shocked me when I just opened up BGG's front page. I swear about a week ago when I logged on and looked this up, the rating...
No, pull up the ratings, Rob. It's bad. Pull it up.
It's right there.
Pull up the individual ratings. Look at all the ones and twos.
Right.
I was reading through them.
It was an 8 point something before.
wow,
it's now a 5.3. So I have a feeling that's a lot of people with hurt feelings who jumped in and started downscoring it to ones and twos.
No, it's not a feeling. It's proof. I've been reading through it. Click on it. Click on the 5.3. Yep. And now look at all the ones and twos.
Watching about 2 weeks, that'll go back up because I guarantee you BGG will suppress all of those ones from the ratings.
I don't agree with
that.
They shouldn't do that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to see how they handle that.
But I mean, they do that. I mean, they've had that before where people log in and they 1,000 people rated 10
pre-release,
or 1,000 people rated a 1.
Right.
Pre-release, and they squash all that ahead of time.
Right,
So,
and it kind of makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of people are rating it again based on feelings of things they've heard about the game or whatever. So I mean, that it makes sense to me. But yeah, I mean, it that definitely will happen. They'll wash a lot of these out.
Does anybody know? Is this a Target decision? Like, did Stronghold Games could they have said no? Don't go until we deliver.
I'm going to say,
yeah,
I'm gonna say this is
absolutely.
a business decision.
Yeah, it was a business decision. I'm sure Target
Straight
came to them and said, "Hey, we'd like to have that game as an exclusive. If we can put it in the stores in 30 days, then we'll give you a huge chunk, or we'll give you a big discount on it." Or
And I'm not going to blame Stronghold. If someone walked up to me and said, "I'm going to buy 100,000 copies of your game today,"
Right.
and I have 10,000 copies from the Kickstarter, sorry,
Yeah.
But it's the communication that's the problem.
exactly.
It's fundamental. So.
And Target's one of those mass retail stores that have been selling, more of the modern type board games for a while now. So they're one of those companies that people know about. Say, if
I actually go to their board game aisle whenever I'm in their store.
Right.
And they're looking
'Cause it's
for
interesting.
They're looking for exclusives. I mean, that's part of their business models. They're trying to get a game on the shelf a month or 2 months before you can buy it anywhere else, and certainly that helps them boost them in the eyes of the board game community. So it's a deal. I mean, I'm sure.
Okay.
Both sides made probably a good killing off of it. So, but yeah, I
think another thing. Sorry, I think another thing we've seen with other Target exclusives in the past is the Kickstarter version or the gamer version of it. The difference between that and the Target version is a vast difference. I think with Jaws of the Lion had a huge difference.
Sure.
The difference between the retail version of Terraforming Ares Expedition, and the one that kicks is 18 cards, that you can probably buy for $10 later on BGG and game trays. And
I was saying it right as you called in that Stronghold put out like the lamest PowerPoint slide to try to tell you why it's okay. Did you see that? Where those PowerPoint slides where you compare two things and they got little check boxes for they both have this, they both have this, and then no, but this one doesn't have this. And it was like, okay, the red X was like the Target version doesn't have the game trays. And the Target version doesn't have those 8 extra cards. And I'm like, it stopped there.
Yeah.
Like, really? So everything else is the same. I spent more money for the product and the shipping of it, and I got to wait another month. Good effort, Stronghold. Good effort.
Or not so much, but
Yeah.
Great topic, homie. Great topic. Any gaming going on in your area?
Yeah, a little bit. I actually, you guys were talking Trekking the World last week, and actually yesterday we played Trekking the National Parks.
Yeah.
Which is a lighter version of it, obviously. And we played it at a full 5 players. And surprisingly, I mean, we were all like, it was like 42, 41, 39, 38, 37. Everyone kind of did different strategies in the game. So I thought it was kind of surprising. I didn't think the game would hold up at 5 players and be that well balanced still. So it was fun. So now I'm looking forward to getting Trekking the World to the table as well.
You haven't played Trekking the World yet?
No, not yet. Just the Parks version a couple times so far.
And you said that's sold as a lighter version of Trekking the World?
Well, yeah, Trekking the National Parks came out first.
It was the first
and
one.
then they did a Kickstarter last year. And so I bought the National Parks version because I have a 7-year-old, and I taught him that. And we've been playing the National Parks game. So the World one is a little bit more complex, has a little bit more bells and whistles to it.
Oh, wow.
But the Trekking the National Parks is a fun game, and it's really educational for the kid because he's learning about all the parks and he's reading the descriptions of them and things like that. And it's we played it with 5 adults, and all the adults liked it, and it held up pretty well. It's light. It's kind of a Ticket to Ride-ish. But it's got some unique, different things of collecting the beads and things like that. But it's a fun game. It was cool, and it was definitely. I felt it was kid friendly. I played it with my 7-year-old. He gets it. He plays it, and I played it with adults, and they played it and liked it. So it was a good kind of light entry game. But yeah,
if I remember correctly, this family that kickstarted this was also in that board game documentary on Amazon. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was the first one.
I think Catan and one other game. I don't remember what the third one was.
I don't recall it. But no, it was cool because you're right. This would be the lighter version because I felt Trekking the World was really light to begin with.
Yeah, it's one step I think up. I haven't actually played Trekking the Parks, but I've seen it played, and I think the world is a little more complicated. Although they're both, I'd say, we played Trekking the World several times now, and it's still pretty family friendly. It's still a fairly light. Again, it always depends on what your point of reference is, but it's still a fairly light family weight game, I would say. Yep.
All right,
yeah, I would say both are both are light family games, but the Parks one is definitely, if you have young kids, this one you could teach a young kid to play this.
I do. Like I felt that Trekking the World might be a little bit much for my 10-year-old, but if you're telling me Trekking the Parks, that's gonna have to go on my list because he does like Ticket to Ride, more Ticket to Ride Junior.
Right.
My first Ticket to Ride, I think it is,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
We haven't really gone full Ticket to Ride. I think Trekking the Parks may be a good place to go.
It's a good step up from the base, from my first Ticket to Ride to this, and then to regular Ticket to Ride would be a good progression, easy.
Thank you for sharing, brother. We appreciate your call.
Cool. No problem.
Take care. That was Wayne from Tampa, Florida, talking about some Ares Expedition and Trekking the National Parks.
Makes me want to go to Target and pick up the game.
I looked at a Target. I didn't find it. I went to your Target.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I should have went to the University Target. Am I going to buy board games there?
No, not really.
I don't
Not
know.
over that neighborhood.
No. It's not because of the neighbor. There's a lot of college kids that they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're broke.
What were you saying, Mitch?
They're broke.
Oh,
No,
we got a cough coming in.
Okay.
Oh, that's 337. That's Louisiana.
Is that Louisiana?
Yeah.
Beans and Ice Podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's BJ from Boardgame Gumbo calling in.
Hey, BJ.
Hey, what's up, BJ? Thanks for calling in, man. BJ also runs a board gaming show, so Boardgame Gumbo. Thanks for calling, man.
Sweet.
Tell me about your show.
I appreciated Wayne's points, but that was a little bit too much non-Louisiana. We got to get this podcast back.
Get it back on the rails, back to Louisiana.
Wow.
Laissez les bon temps rouler.
You get
There
punched
it
when you
is.
come up
Yeah.
here, man.
Hey, in honor of Mitchell, and in honor of the podcast, my wife actually made me some andouille beans, and I got some sausage, I got some red beans and rice, and I'm chomping on it right now.
There we go. That sounds yummy.
Wait, no. Now I have a question. Why didn't you bring any of that stuff here?
I don't think it would
Listen,
be allowed on the plane.
From the Puerto Ricans on the show with the red beans and rice, that's our thing. We're going to give you a little bit of a...
Okay.
And I'm glad you caught that. Like Mitchell understood where I was going with the naming of the podcast. He got it. It's like rice and beans. It's dice and beans. I meet so many folks that think the dice and beans has to do with coffee beans. And I'm like, brother, no, it's like red beans and rice.
Yeah.
Mitchell will tell you that in Louisiana every Monday night we're going to have red beans and rice, man.
Oh.
Little sausage, little maybe some Tony Chachere's on top, some Nunus. We got to get all that done.
Carlos just
We got to visit now.
Road trip.
I was asking him about conventions
Yeah, I was
locally.
telling him he needs to come to Sobo,
What is that?
Southern Board Game
Southern
Festival in
Board Game
Lafayette.
Fest comes up in March. Yeah, in March we're going to have our big full weekend. Because of COVID, we're just going to have a one-day thing in the fall on September 11th. But in March it'll be an entire weekend. In
So
fact,
maybe
you
next
guys
March.
were talking about Stronghold. Yeah, our guest of honor was supposed to be
Bonnecourt.
this year, Stephen Bonnecourt from Stronghold.
Great guy.
Cool guy. We've met him a couple times. Yep.
I think did he sign it?
He signed our can of SpaghettiOs.
Spaghetti can. Yeah.
Bonnecourt's the best. I got him in trouble on the show a couple of years ago. You guys were talking about the legacy part, and he had been drinking a little bit too much beer.
That's what I like about him.
He actually
yeah.
spilled the beans. He spilled the beans before the Frixillis brothers wanted to talk about the legacy, and he got into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I heard about the legacy version of it was on your show, BJ, a couple years ago.
That's the last time we tell Steven anything.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and now he's not with the company anymore.
Right.
I wonder if there's a connection.
Oh, hey, he's retired and happy, man.
Yeah,
What a way to go
I'd like
out.
to think that. Yeah.
Listen, you guys cannot just drop a reference to Lost Ruins of Arnak and then completely not talk
We were
about
going to
it.
circle
Come
back.
on.
We were coming back.
BJ
yeah.
has been trying to get me to play Lost Ruins of Arnak for some time, and BJ, I'm pretty sure you told me you were going to teach it to me at Board Game Gumbo Gumbo game night the other week, and we didn't. We played Vamp on a Bat Walk, which these guys were making fun of last week, amongst other things.
We had fun with that one. Yeah.
They taught it to me, and it will be joining my shelf, BJ, for sure. You were right,
Yeah.
and I won.
Lost Ruins of Arnak. I'm addicted to that game. I've got 4 games going right now in Board Game Arena, and I bring it with me every Wednesday night at Gumbo game night. I just need Mitchell to show up.
Really?
Well,
It's summertime
yesterday
now.
I was in Tampa. Yeah, I was in
It's summertime.
Tampa.
He should be open.
Yeah.
BJ, let me ask you: have you played Dune Imperium?
Yes.
Because Robert and I have a feud going on. So I want to get your opinion on this. Robert and I have a feud going on with which one's better, right? Dune Imperium or Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Dune all
So
day.
take your time and figure out how to explain why Lost Ruins of Arnak is better.
Nope.
Wow.
Okay, clearly. But between the two, if we're talking about Lost Ruins of Arnak and Dune Imperium, clearly the best game is Beyond the Sun. No question.
Carlos has not played that yet.
I really wish I would have gone that P500 list for that because I just didn't pull the trigger on that.
It was a solid game. It was a
The
really good
GMT
game.
one?
Yeah.
Robert was telling me about this, and I love GMT games, so I
Yeah.
guess we got to find a way to get a hold of that one, William. Beyond the Sun?
Beyond the Sun.
Now, Robert doesn't do a good job of explaining games because all he talks about is cubes and mechanisms. He tried to explain that one. Can you tell me about Beyond the Sun? Why would I want to play it?
No, he did a good job last session.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So take Blu-ray and Ticket to Ride and smash them together, and that is Beyond the Sun. Does that help?
No, that's a Rob comment.
That's not going to do it for him.
No. So I'll make it very, very simple, Rob. It is Tech Tree, the Tech Tree game.
Right.
And if you like Tech Tree, so if you ever played Age of Empires or Age of Mythology on a computer,
No.
it's that Tech Tree
I
fun.
have, but these guys
and
haven't.
then on the side, you've got this space exploration board. Everybody kind of ignores, but once you get into the game, you realize that you can go back and forth between the two, and it's just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond the Sun.
Oh, it's kind of like
That
Arnak,
does feel like
where
Arnak,
you
yeah.
got the temple side,
Yep.
researching the temple, and then you've got the worker placement side,
Two different games.
kind of
going on.
jumping between the two.
Yep.
BJ, is this a deck builder as
Absolutely.
well?
If you like that part in Arnak, you're going to love that part in the Beyond the Sun.
Yeah. No deck building. To answer
deck
that
building.
question, no deck building in this one.
Okay.
You're just exploring
No,
technologies.
no deck building, but if you liked it, Yeah, if you like deck building, keep an eye on a game called Endless Winter. If you haven't played it,
Yeah.
it's by Stan Kordonsky.
Yep.
And Endless Winter is fantastic, man. I like that combo. I'm really into deck building plus games. I want
Yes.
deck building plus. I don't want to just play Dominion. I want deck building plus.
So let me say, what's your feeling on Undaunted, Normandy or North Africa? Have you had a chance to try those deck building plus games?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're going to play Undone Normandy, my favorite version of that is Beyond the Sun, clearly.
There you go. I'm sensing a theme here.
I love it.
Undaunted Normandy is a miss for me. I get why people like it. It's just, I don't know. It was a miss for me. I wish I played more. And in fact, some of the guys in the Gumbo love Undaunted Normandy, but it just wasn't for me. It reminded me a little bit of Memoir Party 4, but without all that nostalgia. So not for me.
All right. Well, you know what? We really appreciate the call in.
Thanks a lot.
Your show has been mentioned before here, but it really hasn't gotten an opportunity to be really shared. Tell the folks at home about your show, what you got going on, and where they can find more about you.
Sure. BJ from Boardgame Gumbo. We run a show called Gumbo Live. It's normally on Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Central. We're on hiatus right now for the summertime. We'll be back in the fall. We also have a Twitch channel where we do some live plays and unboxings, and on the YouTube channel. Just been doing a lot of convention work over the years. I love board games, and I love talking about board games. That's why I show. I wanted to talk board games, so I was kind of missing that. So yeah, look, anytime you want to check it out, it's at Board Game everywhere. Keep up the good work. I really love it. You guys have a really cool call-in show, and I'm enjoying it. And I haven't missed a Mitchell episode yet. So
Look at that.
There you go.
That's a sell.
I appreciate the dedication
You got
there,
to
BJ.
keep them on. Yeah.
Well, we thank you for calling in. Don't be a stranger. We want to hear from you again because we love talking about games.
Yeah, my red beans and rice are getting cold. My red beans and rice.
Well,
are
you
getting
get back to
cold.
that
I gotta
before it
get
gets
back
cold.
there, But I'm going to be watching.
BJ, I'll see you on Wednesday,
All right,
and maybe
see
we
you
can play
later,
Arnak. Thanks for calling in later.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll bring it with me.
Cool.
See you later.
Thanks, BJ.
Thanks.
All right, so that was BJ from Louisiana from Board Game Gumbo. Rob's got the channel here on the YouTubes, so y'all can see that there. We're going to go ahead and get that one subscribed to. It's a Tuesday night show, so that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Something for you to do in the Tuesday nights
does it
in the
compete?
fall,
Yeah.
and then Thursdays here.
And I think his live he usually does on Facebook.
I like a good
so it's
competition.
Facebook, but he puts the videos up on YouTube. Yeah. Good guy.
No, he sounds very enthusiastic about board games.
Oh,
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I love it. I'm all about, and that's what started all this. Was just we love talking about board games.
You know what's the best of the two shows? Beyond the Sun.
Yeah, clearly beyond the
Like
sun.
a good callback.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Phone number 813-618-7099. I know you're watching. I see you out there watching, but you're not calling. So give us a call. Talk to us about what you're playing.
That's 3 calls in 30 minutes. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
I think we finally started to get a groove.
Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of grooves, so one of the things I was thinking about, we'll talk about it here a little bit, is I come up, William, you've talked about this. I come up with this list of like things to talk about, and I come up with topics, and then I think we hit maybe one like as we open the show, and then like the phone calls,
Or half of one sometimes. Yeah.
the phone calls
Good
tend
problem,
to
though.
direct,
Which is a good problem for this show.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. For this show.
Right.
The phone calls tend to direct the topics in a whole different direction. So my thought is we can, from here forward, those topics I'm going to ask that we bring to the table for Thursday nights, different topics to talk about. We'll do our call-in show, and then after the call-in show, we can stick around for another recording of what we have been up to.
Not live, but
Right, not live, but a recording of what we've been up to, and then maybe after the weekend, we can post that. That way folks have an idea of what we've been playing, and when they call in on Thursday, they can talk to us about what we've been playing. So you get a chance to kind of catch up on what we've been up to see if any of those topics hit home.
Sure.
And then call in and tell us about what they've been playing, and maybe tell us why our games suck and why Beyond the Sun is better.
Just
Yeah,
hope the next week
yeah.
isn't dry on calls, because then you'll have nothing to say.
Well, we'll use it all up during that. Well, we'll just regurgitate it. We'll just repeat it. Yeah.
Beans and Ice Podcast, state your name, where are you calling from?
New Iberia, Louisiana.
Louisiana representing.
Who's calling in?
Noah Nahra.
Oh,
Mitchell knows me.
Noah, what's up, man? Thanks for calling.
Hey, Noah. Talk to us. What you got going on?
How's it going? I mean, nothing much. I'm kind of new to the board game scene.
Oh,
Welcome.
yeah. We don't bite.
All right, so we'll ask
Yeah.
questions then. We'll lead this one. When did you start gaming?
Awesome. Okay. Probably about
It's probably during,
I'd say
COVID
near,
at my place.
near,
Huh?
yeah, close to that at least. I mean, it might have been a little bit before that, but
Oh, so you're not letting me have the credit for getting
yeah,
you
that's
into
probably
it, huh?
about right.
Wow.
No, we're not giving you that.
So what was your first game that you
No,
played?
completely on my own. I actually just showed up at
He just
Mitch's
walked
place
into
one
a
day.
board game shop, bought a Euro game, and played the solo version. And he was no.
What was the first game that made you say there's something cool or different or something I want to be a part of in this community? What was it?
It's hard to say. It kind of feels like a long time ago, but I want to say it was Tapestry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hear that one's a big hit in your group.
Yeah, that's you said multiple times that's your favorite one, right, Noah?
Yeah.
What do you like so
Yeah.
much about it compared to some of the other games we played? Or, what?
Well, it's just I kind of like it because it takes more thinking and more strategizing.
Okay.
Then
It's a lot more difficult to get a hand on than
Yes.
some of the other games we play.
There's a lot going on in that one. I
Oh,
find
man.
myself distracted when I play that one. But yeah, there's a lot of little things going on.
No, I know some of the other games we've played at my house. I feel like that's one of the simpler ones. But
Really?
See,
but
it's-
you
but
at
he-
any
but-
given point,
Well,
you just
no,
pick
I'm
one
talking
for
like-
4 tracks.
But he's also a newer gamer.
he's not
so-
talking
Well,
about the
no,
rules.
what I-
He's talking about how to win. Right? How do you deal with what you have to turn that into a
Well,
win?
yeah,
That's what he's
because,
talking
okay,
about.
Here's the thing. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. Mitchell wins at least like 8 out of 10 times.
Well, he's
That
teaching
we
it wrong.
play
man.
that
He's teaching
And
it wrong.
the thing, yeah, well, he's teaching us so he could win. No,
No, wait. You said this the other day when we were gaming. You were like, after every game, I want to talk to Mitchell about what he did because I want to learn. So don't act like I'm leaving you guys
exactly.
in the dust.
Yeah. I'm just picking on you. man.
Yeah, I wait
But
till
no,
after I win to tell them what they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Come on, Mitchell.
Which I love that.
Mitchell, man, you gotta when you teach someone a new game, especially like Carlos even mentioned, he actually called me on the phone and said, "Hey, I'm teaching so a new game. I think you should
Let him win."
I said, "You think you should let him win?" I said, "You know what?"
No, I mean, okay, so
and I kind of did, but I also made a genuine mistake. So, but yeah,
I'm sorry, we're cutting you off, Noah. Go ahead.
yeah, you're good. The thing is, I mean, I love the way Mitchell teaches how to play. He's very straightforward.
Oh, thank
about
you.
the
I love you too, Noah.
you know, and so the thing is, it's very straightforward. So whenever you get to playing, you kind of have to figure out how to strategize for yourself. And once you start playing with other people, you get to watch their game and how they play and take bits and pieces and kind of formulate your own little melting pot of, you know, what to do and where to go and all these different types of things. I love it.
So Noah, give me
It's awesome.
what's another game that we've played that you feel like you can't do that in? Can you think of one?
Putting him on the spot.
Yeah, it's okay if you can't think of it.
I mean, it would have to be a pretty simple game, you know, like Emotep. Like you can't really, you know, there's only so many choices that you have in that game.
Yeah, it is limited
You know?
choices, but I love the backstabbiness of that one. Like when you
Oh,
sail
yeah,
a
sail
boat,
somebody's boat.
Yeah, that's true. That's
it
true.
just feels good.
yeah, we do that.
Any more compliments? Yeah, somebody put on the comments, best teacher. Any more compliments?
Well, now let me throw one towards Mitchell because I think if what I'm hearing is correct, I mean, it sounds like Mitchell is doing a good job of bringing you in at little steps because I'll say that Tapestry does have
You're
a
going
lot
to pay the compliment?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Tapestry does have a lot of little things going on.
Oh my God, the sound effects.
But if you like Tapestry and you think Tapestry has a lot going on and that it's deep, there are a lot deeper games in this hobby that that Mitchell will introduce you to as you come along that will really open up some things for you.
Noah's
One
definitely
step at a
played-
time.
Played some heavier
Oh,
games.
has he played some heavy
I think
games?
he's just
Okay.
saying that he appreciates the strategy in Tapestry because
Okay.
And I would call
because,
I would
I
call Tapestry more tactical than strategic because you can't think long game. So I think what he's trying to say is
Well,
accurate.
yeah, I guess you're right.
I love the idea of
guess you're right.
Tapestry
I mean-
because you have to figure out how to do something with the garbage you've been given to win.
Right.
Okay.
I guess a better
what that says,
example
that
of
Carlos
strategy.
always got garbage in his hand.
Yes.
He always had it.
Go ahead, no. The
Well, I
strategy.
guess Yeah, I guess a better example of strategy would be probably Scythe, right?
definitely a heavier
Just another-
game. But you're not a big fan of Scythe,
Yeah,
right?
but see, Scythe is a long-term
Yeah,
strategy
exactly.
game. You got to know the arc
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that
it's-
game. what actions you're going to take
Yeah,
early
it's
game
not my
versus mid
favorite
game versus late
because-
game.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, I've been trying to get into Scythe. Like, I bought the
The Steam version, right?
the app.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I've been trying to get into it, but it's just the game is so stretched out. Like, you have to think so far ahead. It's just not for me yet, I don't think.
I think another problem, Noah, is I feel like every time we've played, we've had like 7 players. That definitely adds to
It is
That's
hard.
true.
In our
Yeah,
game
that's
group, we have that
true.
problem. We have too many people playing at one time, and it's. But no, let us play a game. Let's. I got a new game here, guys. Let's play a game. No, give me your top 3 games that you would like to play right now, and let's go around the table since Noah's newer and give him our suggestion of a game we think he might enjoy.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's play it.
That's
so
cool.
Noah, 3 games that
Okay,
you'd like to
so-
play right now.
So Tapestry's one of them.
Out of the games that I've played, right?
Yeah, or whatever. Even things that just
Okay,
interest you.
so-
Just name 3 games that you think are cool. Themes, games, or
Okay,
anything.
so-
Movies, even.
That does help.
El Dorado is literally like one of my favorite games.
Okay.
The Island of
that
El
I've
Dorado.
ever
There is a
played.
game called El Dorado,
Right.
but you're talking about the Island of El Dorado.
All right.
Okay, yeah, okay. We haven't played this one in a hot minute, but photosynthesis is just great
Okay,
as
Yeah,
well.
that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And
You could say Tapestry if you
Crap.
can't think of a
I
third.
mean, if you want it, you can say Tapestry. You can.
no, because there's definitely other games that I want to play right now specifically.
I love that. Like, I have my favorites, but there are games I want to play right now.
You really like
Yeah.
Red Rising.
Maybe. Oh yes,
Don't be
Red
pushy on
Rising.
him.
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. I love Red Rising.
Hmm.
Well, it's like one of the first games that I've ever won.
That's true.
So it was pretty cool.
He beat me in Red Rising.
It's always a good feeling. Yeah, it leaves a good memory.
I love Red Rising though.
All right, we'll
It's
allow
so
Mitchell
fun.
to go first since he knows them best. While we
well-
think, name a game that you think, based on what he likes, that he may also like.
This
And
is
then we'll
tough
go.
because I feel like a lot of them I've already played with them. The ones,
Yeah, the
um,
ones that you know. Yeah.
No, about Red Rising. Do you like the playing of the actions or the set collection at the end? What part of it really?
You
the
can't do that.
comboing
You
of
can't
things?
Do that. You're supposed to throw out a game.
Just throw out a game.
Oh, you gotta have some
No, no,
context.
no.
Yeah, you gotta know a little more. I agree with Mitchell. Yeah, you can't just throw something out there.
I got a game in
I already
mind,
ha-
but go
I already-
ahead.
I already have a game in
Go ahead,
mind.
Mitchell.
Well,
Well, I think I appreciate the end game play more because the time that I won, it was because at the end of like my end game hand was just filled with combos that I just tossed back and forth, and it just skyrocketed the amount of points I had at the end of the game. So it was real nice to see that I thought it through during the game and pulled out the best hand I could get and used it to my advantage at the end.
All right,
So
you got a game for him?
I feel like I might be stealing this from the guys, but I know that Red Rising was based on a game called Fantasy Realms, which Carlos and Rob just taught me last night, which is basically Red Rising without the board. You're just picking up a card, putting down a card, and you're literally just trying to make a deck of cards. Oh, like the sound
I
effect.
approve. Carlos approves.
Fantasy
William,
Realms.
what you got?
You go next.
No, you're going around the order. I'm going
All
last.
right. I had one in mind, but then it changed suddenly. But I was going to say if he likes the whole building up your deck, comboing, and maybe with a board, I would say Tyrants.
Tyrant to the Underdark.
Tyrants to Underdark.
I have- Carlos approves.
And I'm drawing a blank on the name. You own it, Carlos. It's the with the marbles. The
Oh,
different
you
color
jerk!
marbles. Is that what you're
You
thinking
stole
of?
mine.
That was
No,
going to be my second
what was
choice.
Gizmos.
Gizmos.
That was going to be my answer.
Gizmos, you're
Gizmos.
comboing
Has that
stuff
played
up. You're building a tableau and you're setting off all kinds of combinations.
He has
and by
not
the,
played it.
By the end of the
Oh, he
game,
hasn't played it?
By the end of the game, you're grabbing a red marble. You're turning it into a blue marble. You're turning it into 3 yellow marbles. You're using those to buy a card. Then you're using that card.
Gizmos.
Yeah,
You're like digging through like
Yeah.
5-6 marbles at the end of the game.
No, you got to try Gizmos.
Yeah,
then.
Gizmos is good. It's simple. It's light. It's probably just
Uh-oh.
a step beyond a family game.
What do you got,
but-
And
Carlos?
I'm certain. No, if you ask nicely, Mitchell will probably have it primed to his house by the
Yeah.
time you get home.
It's
I mean,
not that
it sounds
expensive.
great.
No, that was my
It's-
game.
it's
I'm
a fun
sorry.
game.
He took,
So do you
Rob
have
took
a
mine.
second place,
That was
Carlos?
my
You started the game. You
that
gotta.
was
do
my
it.
I thought a while, and
I told you to go first.
Maybe we'll have to play it tonight after this. We'll teach it to
Initially, I
Mitchell.
thought Wingspan, but I figured with your game group, he would have already been introduced to
He's
Wingspan.
never played Wingspan.
Okay, because Wingspan to me, like the evolution of that series of like combo tastic fun,
Yeah,
is
Wingspan.
going to be a Splendor
Yep.
to Gizmos to Wingspan to Terraforming Mars. Kind of like in that world, you can kind of get into that engine building combo tastic fun.
Yeah,
that would be where I
no,
put you.
Wingspan's another Stonemaier game. Tapestry, Red Rising, Scythe, all those.
Yeah.
So you'd probably enjoy that one. That's a good
So
one.
there you go.
sounds
No, you got
fun.
some games to think
I'd
about.
like to play more Stonemaier games. Yeah. Also, I just wanted to mention that I know me and Mitchell are supposed to be having one of his debates
Board game battles.
Board game
on
battles, yeah.
Tapestry and Scythe.
For best
And I know
Stonemaier
he
game.
mentioned he wanted the creator of Stonemaier, right?
Yep. Jamie Stegmaier.
Yep.
To be a guest.
I would.
To
Yeah,
be a guest on the debate.
that would be cool if we could make that happen.
Just want to put that out there.
If Jamie's out there,
Jamie, if you're listening,
Yeah.
which we know you have before,
We know you've listened to our show. Okay, yeah. You've been on here
reach
before.
out. Let us know if you can jump in on the board game battles.
Yep.
And if not, we may have to wait till after September when I meet him in person.
Yeah, we're going to go meet him in
and
September.
we can throw in
yeah.
a word in for
Yeah, I
you.
appreciate it. Well, we have a little bit of clout because we had the designer of After the Empire on.
Right.
the
I
other week.
That was
saw
a
that.
great
That was
episode,
fun.
man.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode. William wasn't happy with me because he felt that I got a bunch of strategy, which ended up giving me the win in our last play of After the Empire.
I don't do that. I like to
Experience the
Noah,
game.
I want to
Experience
thank
the
you for just having the courage to jump in and call.
Yeah,
I know
nice
you're
chat.
newer to the community, so it sounded a little nervous, but everything went great. You had some great conversation for us. So even without Mitchell having to be here,
Yeah.
talk to us and give us the lowdown of what's really going on in New Iberia
Yeah.
when it comes to gaming, okay?
Keep
In the
playing
future,
games.
Yeah. Keep me honest, because if I'm calling in and saying stuff, maybe
Yeah,
I'm
call
saying
him out
I'm
on it,
winning
bro.
everything.
Call
Yeah,
him out
yeah.
on it.
Call back next week.
Get in the chat.
No, I mean,
yeah,
it's
potion
just a
exposure.
really great scene. I mean, I always say, like, okay, I'm 20 years old, right? I should be out partying and all this and that. But whenever it comes to
We're not laughing
board
at you. We're
games,
laughing at
I'll
Carlos.
ditch
He just
that.
got old.
No, but at the end of the day,
Poor Noah, just trying to talk, and you got your sound effects.
Yeah, sound
Go
effects
ahead,
are like-
Noah.
I am
Very good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'll ditch all that just to come play board games. It's just so fun.
That's
and
cool.
Listen,
you
brother,
know,
I've
really
had many
it's a
hobbies
good exercise.
in my life. Many crazy hobbies, and board games have always been there for me. So stick around.
Yeah,
You'll meet great people.
Keep playing. Yeah.
You'll meet great people. You'll make long-term friends.
And you'll stay out
my
of trouble.
hope is that come March of 2022, right, we'll jump over to BJ's convention.
Yeah.
Sobo.
Sobo Fest.
Southern Board Game Festival.
Yep.
Lafayette.
To be able to meet y'all in person. So thanks so much for calling in, Noah.
Absolutely.
Take care, brother.
Have a good night.
Absolutely.
That was Noah from Louisiana, a newer board gamer, one of Mitchell's group who got to share a little bit about what he likes in gaming. A couple of comments on the board from that phone call. Diego looks like he's thumb-upping Fantasy Realm, so he agrees. And then he's also adding Potion Explosion
Yep.
to that list. Potion Explosion is a combo-y game.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
It's
mention that when I
tactile,
was
too.
yeah.
If he likes photosynthesis and tapestry, those nice
You're right.
components, 3D kind of.
And I think I mentioned that before. Your group seems to have a theme with all these like 3D components, like not just the board.
it's probably because
Phone lines open 813-618-7099. Call in.
That's probably because I'm an impulse buyer, and if I see something that looks cool, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. That's
That guy right there.
Yeah, a lot of
guy right
companies market to that. A lot of board presence or table presence, they call it. It's a lot of companies do that. Yeah.
Connor was agreeing. Tapestry's the best game.
Is that Connor?
That's Connor, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Connor did
Okay.
agree. Tapestry is the best game. And then
Some of us would disagree, but yeah.
apparently not Zeno.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That surprised me last week when
Brian
Zeno called in.
yeah, he enjoyed it.
Okay, so I'm a 4Xer. I love 4X
Yeah,
games.
me
I love
too.
Civ games.
Yeah.
And Zeno as well.
Yeah.
So when he said, "Hey, I'm playing Tapestry," I said, "Call and talk to us about it." I really expected Zeno to call in and just be like, "Nope, not for me." I was mind blown when he said, "Oh my gosh, this game is amazing."
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect that. I thought he would need more out of a Civ game to call it excellent.
Yeah.
813-618-7099. We're coming towards the end of the call-in show, so we want y'all to finish it up for us. So somebody call in.
Yeah, 10 to 15
and
minutes
be
here.
that
Fill it
last
up.
caller.
Yeah.
I feel like we just started this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it goes
I
quick.
tell you what,
Yeah.
brother.
I told him it was
It
too
does.
short.
Yeah.
It's way too short.
It goes quick. Mm.
It's too short.
And that's why I feel like we have to do like a separate recording to talk about what we've played,
Yeah. We run out
because
of
we
time.
just get interrupted, not interrupted in a bad way, like in the way we like. This is why we love this show so much.
Yeah.
Mitchell, is like, I feel like we started this because we play a game at the shop pre-COVID.
Yep.
and then we'd sit outside for an hour, 2, 3 hours out at
just chatting till 1 in the morning
at the Taco Bell.
sitting on the hood.
Read the chat.
Zaya is neck and neck with Tapestry.
Beyond the sun.
Beyond the sun.
Tapestry is the best exploration.
You see who it is, right?
Jay. It's
You see who it is?
Of course,
Yes.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, Boardgame Gumbo with Tapestry is the best exploration game since Beyond the Sun.
That's
Yeah, we started doing this because we sat outside the game shop. We sat outside the Taco Bells, munching on like a party pack, right? While talking about
those
what we
were bad
played.
nights for
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
for
those were
you.
good for
me.
us.
Yeah, but I mean, your stomach is weak. You have a weak bloodline. It needs to be thinned out.
Oh, wow.
It's not
escalated.
real. It's not real food.
Yeah, but we figured just put together a show. Let's just do what we enjoy doing.
Let's do what we're doing
Yeah.
at Taco Bell, but do it here, and then do it with y'all,
with
right?
everybody,
all of y'all,
an audience. Yeah,
who want to call in and just talk about what you've played, and you see how fast it goes.
Yeah, for
because tell me that doesn't happen to you at the game shop after you guys get done playing games. You realize, all right, we're done. It's 10 o'clock. Let's wrap it up and go home. But then you find out it's midnight, and y'all just been sitting around talking about games the whole time.
Well, it's not quite that, but it's 99% of the time we're gaming is at my house, and it's like, oh wow, it's 2 a.m. and you're still here.
yeah, that happens.
I mean, what was it? Noah that was the last one called? Yeah. So he was a new gamer. I was kind of new, and I went to Dice Tower, still new to games, and then I've met them before, but then I hung out with them, and we played games that whole time period.
Yeah, 5 days.
And then I was like, okay, that's it. I knew then this was the hobby I want to get into.
yeah, it's fun.
Yep.
And
with the diversity of games, there's just a little something out there for everybody. Whether you want battle, conflict, war games, whether you want history. I know Carlos is big into that part of it, the historical part, historical games, fighting games, war games. You got your cube pushers for people like me who want to think about it. They want to really churn their brain a little bit and figure out how to make things work, how to make victory points, and everything in between. You got family gaming. There's something for everybody.
with no theme.
Yeah, no theme for me. That's all right. I'll pass on the theme.
Same.
Give me good mechanics every day.
Yep.
I'm starting to change my perspective in gaming. I want a story now.
right. Like
I want a
Aaron had to
feeling.
call in and explain to me how vindication works because Robert just couldn't do it.
No, he told you almost the same thing I did, but okay.
So Connor brought up Zaya. I don't know if we. I don't.
Yeah,
wanna-
Zaya, that's
I
a
don't
great
wanna
game.
Robert
ignore
won.
it. Yep. That's
Robert won.
No.
Was it Zaya we played, right? No, that was
No.
Eclipse. That was Eclipse.
Zaya's a space exploration. You wouldn't call it 4X, I don't guess. Probably 3X.
High
but-
replayability though.
I can pull it up here real quick on the BGG, but yeah, I played that.
I love this. We got Boardgame Gumbo says we used to call those parking lot committee meetings, and Aaron from Columbus says plenty of parking lot committee meetings in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh yeah, it goes
And
on everywhere.
that's kind of like the theme of what we want this show to be.
Yeah.
Is like a parking. I guess we call it a parking lot committee meeting
It happens. Yeah.
about gaming, but just with all over the country. Like I want to know about what's going on in your neck of the woods and what you guys are playing. So
I started watching this show and now I'm in Tampa.
Yeah, there you go.
It
So
kinda
come on to
works.
Tampa. You start watching, you come on down. You can get on the show.
He
Yeah.
just invited every single person.
Come on
to
down over to
your
Carlos's house. Carlos is our host. Yeah, he'll buy beer and pizza,
and that's the
waters
crazy
and-
part is like I'm kind of cool with that. 'cause
Yeah, I know he is, or I wouldn't have said it.
I don't think I've ever met anyone in gaming that I wouldn't invite to my house. Like I've had before
What
we
about
started doing game days.
What about the guy with that?
Oh, the SpaghettiOs? He's welcome, bro. You got a can for him.
Yeah, we're ready for him, man.
When we started doing game days, at my house, and we'd have 10, 15 people. We'd have games going off here in this den area here with the studio, and then over there in the dining room we'd have games going on, and we could even host games over there. So like we would host a whole game day. My wife is cool with that. That's the best part about gaming.
Yeah. Our wives don't game, but they encourage us to because they know it makes us happy and it keeps us busy and keeps
out
us
of
out of their
trouble.
hair. Yeah, and yeah, we could be in a lot worse places than hanging out with a bunch of nerds.
That's our
Yeah.
advice to Noah. If you get into board gaming, Noah,
You're a
you
nerd.
won't have money for all the other vices in the
Yeah.
world. Okay, that's what we say.
Noah told me his dad said a while back. Or he texted him, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm playing board games." He's like, "That's no way to find a girlfriend."
Yeah. Well, I have seen it happen.
I don't
though.
know.
Yeah.
That's
I've seen it happen.
If you go, if who was it? Phil. He met his now wife
Yep.
at Dice Tower.
Yeah.
So and that was, that was
Not all of us can be as lucky.
not all of us can be lucky, but that has happened.
But we had a conversation. The three of us, we went up with Ant Lab Games. It was Anthony and Francis.
Yep.
And I think I finally found a plus of having a non-gamer spouse was in that conversation.
Watching the kids.
Right, because they were talking about going to conventions.
Yeah.
Right, and now that they have a small child at home, the difficulty of somebody's got to stay and watch the kid. I've never had that problem.
Yeah.
My family comes with me to the conventions. We rent the big room.
They go to the
Robert and I will
pool.
get like a villa.
They hang out at the pool.
And our
they-
two families go together, and the wives and the kids all play together, and we can spend the whole weekend doing nothing but playing board games, not having to worry about feeding the kid
20 out of every 24 hours we're in the game room.
because our wives aren't fighting to get into the game hall, right? So it makes it great.
Yep.
So I finally found a plus for having a non-gamer spouse.
Yeah.
Aaron says, take the beers and the beans and dice podcast on the road. Rob and I will be going to the Stonemeyer, and we haven't had a convention since Robert and I decided to do this.
Right.
So we have a mobile setup now, which we've done. So we've done shows at Your Turn, the Board Game Cafe.
Yep.
We've done shows out of Armada. So we've kind of
yep.
started to multiple shows now.
Yeah, a little bit.
We've kind of set up a system and a way to be able to take this mobile.
Somewhat portable, yeah.
So Robert and I, received invitations to go to Stonemeyer Games Design Day over in September in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yep.
So Robert and I picked up a suite over in Missouri. We're going to go out there to meet Jamie Stegmeyer and his friends, and we're going to play new prototypes. And our plan is to bring some of the gear to take the show on the road to Missouri.
As much as he'll let us, we'll try to be mobile, and we'll try to give some insight on our trip, if nothing else, on just our travel. You're the crazy one who's driving 16 hours back and forth.
I got a family of 5, bro.
I'm
I
going to
can't
fly.
that.
I'm flying. Just me and my wife are going, but you're bringing the whole family, so understandable.
Wow, it's going to be a family of 6 when I do that.
Oh, yeah.
Baby will be here.
You're going to have a baby. Yeah, you're going to have 6.
I told him he was nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You're, you're driving 16 hours.
That's how we
spending 2
brown people
days
take over.
And driving 16
We just
hours
have a lot
back.
of
Yeah.
babies.
2-month-old, basically.
Yeah.
We've done it before.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, when the youngest was 2 months, we took a road trip to San Antonio, so it's probably farther than it was.
And we've had some talks about doing a few other things. It'd be nice to get back to Atlanta when Simon starts back up. We've talked about possibly going further north, Philadelphia for PAX.
PAX
maybe
PAX
PAX Unplugged. Yep. So we're talking about some other trips, family permitting and monetary permitting. If we can come up with.
See, that's why I
dollars,
believe
so.
in road trips. Like it's just not as expensive, so we can
Well,
just
This
drive
guy here will fly.
yeah,
Right here.
I'm flying. Yeah,
I'm flying.
Yeah, I'm definitely not driving. not more than maybe
So
10 hours.
we'll just throw all the luggage in his car,
Yeah.
and I will fly out there with Rob, and that'll be it.
Any board games you buy, I can haul back with me because
That's a good
I got the
point.
full minivan. We can do that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, we're hitting the hour mark.
hitting that hour mark. We didn't get that last call, so
Sorry.
that will shut off the phone line. But more importantly, we want to thank Mitchell for making his way
Yeah,
all the way down to Tampa, Florida.
he
to
didn't come
join
just
us.
for this, but he
I want to believe he did.
Yeah, oh, yeah, well.
So this was the impetus.
Oh, yeah, it
The
helped
idea was
push it over the edge,
We're going to be
yeah.
doing a vacation. Why not do it in Tampa?
Oh,
and,
sweet.
And there you go.
I'm glad we could.
Hey, thanks for having me. It
Could
was
be
fun.
part of your vacation. Yeah,
For
we
sure.
appreciate you coming, and we're gonna maybe play a little more games. I'm hoping after we shut
That's
it down
my
here.
hope.
I
Yeah.
sure hope so. I'm leaving tomorrow. I came
Yeah.
for more than just this.
Squeeze it all in.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're taking a win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he already got the win. We
Yeah,
didn't get to
man.
talk about
We
Arnak.
didn't
Let's
talk
take a
about
quick moment to talk about
Oh, yeah.
Arnak. Let's
BJ
talk about
said we were teasing him with not
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
who's
you're
got
right.
the score
Let's wrap
sheet.
it
Let's wrap up Arnak.
Over here.
All right.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, read
So
the scores.
Mitchell, it's your
Read those
first
scores,
play of
Carlos.
Arnak. We're going to give you an opportunity to describe what you're doing and how you're playing it,
Okay.
and then tell us what your thoughts were.
So explain the mechanics you're talking about.
No,
No, what I did.
no, what you're doing as the who are you in the game and what are you doing?
Well,
in the game?
so hold
You're-
on.
You're
Mitchell-
talking
Mitchell
mechanisms.
cares
So
about-
he didn't tell me anything about
And
this
Mitchell
thing.
cares about theme as much as I did. He's already said.
He wants a story
So
out of it.
you're an
He wants a story.
archaeologist, I assume.
So Carlos
right?
can tell us the story.
You're an archaeologist, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're Indiana
Explorer.
Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. Yeah, there you go.
Basically,
Yeah, yeah.
See, you fight monsters. That's
That's it.
as
Yeah,
much as
yeah.
I got. Yeah.
Yeah, do a little researching and a little fighting monsters.
But
yeah.
no, so you're traveling in different locations, spending cards that are either like cars or planes. So cards or boats.
Boats, yeah.
And the farther you go, it may take more vehicles. And it's a worker placement and deck builder, but you only have 2 workers.
Yep.
And you never get more than that, which
Right.
seems crazy. But as you get your engine built, you can do lots and lots of actions. The last couple rounds probably lasted more than all the previous rounds
Yeah,
combined.
last 2
because-
rounds is half the game. Yeah.
Right. So there are a few actions you can do without the workers. There's like this exploration, what's it called, research track. You're spending resources to explore and things like that. And that's kind of what Rob pushed. And to me, it looked like, he's going to kind of run away. I focused a little bit more on exploring the different locations with my workers and then defeating the monsters there. And I came out 1 point ahead. So
Yeah, it was really close. Mitchell beat me by 1. What was it?
58 to 57.
58 to 57. And what was Carlos?
Right there, ding.
40 something. 40 something.
It almost felt like I was saying this earlier, 2 different games.
Yeah.
I mean, still the same theme, obviously, but because, on that research track, you're not using your meeple at all, but you're using the resources that you probably got from your meeples.
Right.
So you need one to do the other, but I feel like both are a viable path to victory. Like I said, we kind of focused on the 2 different ones, and I came out only a point ahead, and that didn't necessarily come from those tracks. It could have been the cards in our hands and things like that.
Sure.
So, yeah, it was fun.
So what were the results of the game? How to work out? Give us the points.
Okay, so Mitchell, 58. Me.
That's you.
Oh, that's my daughter. My daughter, Emmy. It's her initials, Megan Elizabeth.
I see. I thought that was going to be Rob because
Oh,
he
no,
was
sorry.
scoring it, but then I saw Rob over there. Okay, so Rob's over at 44, Carlos 45, Rob 57.
There we go.
It was close. It was close.
Yeah.
So I beat Emmy.
You beat Emmy by a point. You beat
I
my
beat
daughter.
Emmy.
My daughter
You beat a
Megan.
15
Megan
I
Girl.
beat up
I'm
on a
so proud.
15-year-old girl.
Well, she whooped your butt the first time we played, so I don't want to.
Listen.
No mercy. Yeah.
No, she always destroys me.
She's 15. She
I
can
was
handle it.
surprised at that one. She always destroys
She's
me.
over there making faces.
And we
Yeah,
talked a
she
little,
is.
a little bit about the game just to kind of get a little bit, not going too deep into it because I know we're trying to wrap up here, but we talked a little bit about we've played a handful of times now. Carlos and I have, and Will's played once or twice, and this is Mitchell's first play. My daughter's played 2 or 3 times, I think, or maybe 3 or 4 times. 4 times now, she's saying, over from the peanut gallery. But in any case, I think in this game we have discovered, or at least I have discovered, that as long as you don't let one person run away on one of the sides, if one person's doing all the fighting the monsters, they're probably going to win. If one person's doing all the research and races up to the top of that track and everybody else falls way behind, they're probably going to win. So it's well balanced is I guess what I'm getting at.
So you and Emmy focus research. Me and Carlos, I think, focus a little bit more on the monsters, at least
Right.
in
Yeah.
the beginning.
Right.
So we
Right.
kind of balance each other out. That's a good point.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, you can't let one person run away. I know Will killed us the one time we played because I think me and Carlos focused more on the research side of that game, and Will went and beat all the monsters, and he kicked our butt by beating the monsters. So,
What about you, Will? What'd you think of our last play?
I thought whoever had the most monsters was going to win when I saw that. I was like, either you or him.
yeah.
That's usually how I think is going to be the winner. Because what did you have, like 20 points out of the monsters?
I had 15. I think he had
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, 15, 20.
Which, I mean, 15,
Well,
that's
Carlos, I had 15.
about a quarter.
Yeah, so no-
you ended up
I
having
had
the same
15. I had
number.
3. We
I
both
didn't
had
see-
3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you killed one towards the end.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we
I
balanced
think
it
you
out.
have to at least kill at least 10 points with the monsters.
Probably 2. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's not just the base. It's not just the victory points, but it gives you all those resources and the things
Right.
that are building your engine essentially. That you don't see it working in there, but it's giving you
Yeah.
benefit somewhere else.
Ways to get other points. Yeah.
Would you recommend folks try it out or try it before they buy it,
No.
or just buy it? What do you
Buy it.
recommend?
Just buy it.
Would you
Just
would you
I'll-
buy would you
I'll
buy
probably
this
it.
over Beyond the Sun?
Have you
There's
played
the
Beyond the
question.
Sun?
I'm not.
Yeah.
That makes it so much
I
funnier.
believe I'm the only one here who's played it. But
We got to,
yeah.
William. We got to get a copy of that then.
Beyond the Sun? Yeah.
We are GMT fans. William and I are
Yeah.
like GMT
It's a good game.
fans.
It's a solid game. Y'all would like
yeah,
it.
a lot of my weight on the shelf has
Yeah.
to do with GMT.
Yeah. Y'all would both like it. But
Well, that's going to wrap up our show. That was only 4 phone calls,
yeah.
and it
But
flew
a
by
lot
like
of
that.
content.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Good
now
stuff.
you know.
And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So thank you, folks, for calling in. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, BJ. Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah.
Awesome topic
Thank
on
you, Mitchell.
Aries Expedition.
Louisiana
All you other
represented
folks,
tonight. Thank you, guys.
Seriously, bro. Like 3/4 of the calls were Louisiana.
Yeah.
Representing.
But don't feel like Mitchell has to be here to call. I just want to talk about board games.
Yep. Anytime. Call anytime.
Yeah, and
Every
tell us
time.
what you're playing. I'm Carlos,
I'm Rob.
And I'm William.
I'm Mitchell.
and we're the Beans and Bites podcast. A
Beans and
podcast. let's refresh that again. Carlos.
I'm Rob.
William.
I'm Mitchell.
We are the Beans and Dice podcast. We're a podcast about
How we game.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.